up for Facebook was because of you. Because you sent me this email that said, hey, I'm getting this Facebook group together, but you got to have a Facebook account to do it.
Oh, is it like a geocaching Facebook
Yeah, like
group?
a geocaching Facebook group. And so I'm like, oh, that sounds cool, a cool way to network or whatever. So I signed up. So
That's
when it comes to Facebook, I blame you for ruining my life.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
But then it's you that got me into caching.
That's true.
Ultimately, because you got Daryl involved.
That's
so
right.
He was really excited about it, and we were living in Canada, and he called us and was just raving about it. And thinking to myself, that's kind of silly. Why would I want to do that? And then I think it was a couple weeks later, actually, like logged on to the geocaching website, going, okay, I'll see what they got going on. There's probably like 2 caches within 100 miles of it. And there was one right down the road from us, and I was like, oh, cool. And like got home and it's like 9 o'clock at night, January, starting to snow, and of course we say, let's go find our first geocache. Because it's just down the road from us, right? Why not? So we go out there, and man, oh man, it's like in a boulevard, in a bushy area between the main road and a grocery store. And we searched for a good hour and a half as people are driving by, just kind of craning their necks, going, what are these people doing? There's a taxi cab driver, he was taking a break, and I know he was just watching, like, what are these people doing, crazy people doing in the bush here, you know?
That's fine.
And of course there's that moment where you like are reaching under the tree and you, hey, what is that thing? And yeah, it was the first geocache. Yeah, that hooked me right there.
That's awesome.
I find that's one thing that seems to motivate me is
me
be like,
too.
hey, there's a big long hike. I'm like, oh, do I really want to do that? Is there a cache at the end? Yes, there is. Okay, I'll do it.
All right. Let's see, what year did you start? So
It's 2008.
Oh, 2008.
Yeah, 2008. You told us about it in 2007, so we could have been on that bandwagon, but me being me and going, I don't think that sounds great.
St. George is a nice thing about geocaching is, even year round.
Yeah,
I imagine that would have had to be tough in Canada. Really.
it was.
Winter.
We compensated with most of the caches were, winter friendly.
Yeah.
So you'd only, in the wintertime, you definitely would only do searches, pocket queries on the winter friendly ones.
Oh, yeah.
And you definitely saw, like, summer times my stats were higher than my winter time. Except, you see, the only time that the stats would go up, and I'm like, oh, well, that's because we went to Utah there.
Yeah.
So we did, you get different regions has just different ways of caching.
Yeah. It's funny, the Primo cache container is like an ammo can.
Yep.
But if you go to Hawaii and you're anywhere along the coast, that salt spray
that thing
turns those things to dust.
Yeah, they're rusty shards of death, Yeah, we found a couple. There was one, we were staying at basically a condo apartment, a timeshare there, and there was a nice, mountain right at the sea there. It was only like 100 feet tall or something. It was a huge mountain. And we timed it perfectly because we went up there, and by the time we got to the top, the sun was just setting. And it was just it was a perfect find. The stuff in the container was questionable, though.
Yeah. There's a lot of caches that are like that. Little teeny bit of moisture gets in there. Next thing you know, you got a science project in there.
Yes. So we went to Death Valley, and the cell phone didn't work, and then something went wrong with the GPS, and I was like, oh no! And I ended up, for the first day, I was like, just going blind. I'm like, I know there's an earth cache here. I'm just going to start taking pictures of everything, start taking pictures of every plaque I can find, got to the hotel, you know, being able to go back and be like, oh yeah, this is the information I need, and this is what I need to get this, and then I fixed the GPS so that it would actually turn on. Our first lab cache and only lab cache was in the Yuma event, and it was one of the things that I was excited about. I'm like, I finally get to see what this is all about, and I didn't think, you know, too much about it, and so when we were logging it, I was like, okay, yeah, cool. And then at the end, it's like, oh, you got 10 finds or whatever. I was like, what?
You're like, wow, yeah. Alright, so Fitness Way. I bet this trail gets hiked a lot by these guys.
The Death March.
Come on, fatty. Let's get up that trail.
Sorry, I thought you were talking to me there, Chris.
Still our best bet. We'll get it.
It's not that far away. Yeah, 0.2.
Well, this one I would think should be here. This place hasn't got hit yet. Oh, there it is.
It's down Medicine Ball.
Yeah.
It's the other favorite of that.
They improved the maps and stuff.
Yeah, I remember the old E-Trex. Basically just points on the blank page.
Yeah. It would leave a line wherever you went, though.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Look at that.
That's seen better days.
Yeah. It's the standard.
I'm in a hurry.
It's the
Shove it in there.
standard rate of decay of a geocache right there. Yeah, but there's another one. There was one of these murder detective shows on TV. And the opening scene was these two really dorky guys, and they're going down this like old subway tunnel or something. They're like, well, I'm gonna be the first to find. They're like shoving each other and stuff, and they get there and they find the geocache, and it's a big container, and they open up and there's a human head in it.
Oh my gosh.
I'm like, well, that's different.
That sounds like
I don't think I've never found that in a geocache before.
Yeah, I'd rather not find that in a geocache. Peppermint containers.
Is that what it is?
So that means it's going to be in either a film canister or a pill bottle.
Pill bottle like that other one was.
There we go.
Oh, wow. That was sneaky. And it is a York peppermint patty.
Makes me wonder if that other one was a drop down.
It probably was. Gotta break out the hammer, huh?
There we go.
Wow. We'll just log it signed in rust. So how'd you get that caching name?
Torran was a book I was writing. I was the main character in it. And when I was trying to come up with names for my geocaching name, I didn't have a clue what to put myself as, so I just came up with that one. And then my wife, she was originally Princess Ride.
Yeah, yeah.
And she didn't really like that one. And then we decided to join our accounts because it was just painful to log 2 caches.
Log both, yeah.
Or 2 times on the same cache. You come from a geocaching run, you're fighting for the computer.
Yeah.
So Tatterhood is a book that she had when she was a kid. And it's about this spunky girl that wouldn't take lip from anyone, and whenever they were out of line, she'd thump them with a wooden stick or a wooden spoon.
Huh.
So when we changed her name, I suggested she use that one. She's like, "Oh yeah, she's done that before."
Survey markers here. So just combine those two together. So every time I see the comic Hagar the Horrible,
Yeah.
I refer to you as Torran the Terrible.
Is that a grave?
It looks like it, doesn't it? That is weird. That's a little odd. Yeah.
I found that.
Oh, but check this out. These are pit houses.
Oh, cool.
Check it out. I don't even know if people know they're here because we're kind of off the.
Yeah, we're off the beaten trail. Right?
Yeah, that could be a survey. You know, like
that makes a archaeological.
Yeah, archaeological survey.
Where they just take the items, study them, and then bury them back up.
Yeah. There's another pit house right here. Oh, there's this one, and then there's one right there. There's one right here. A lot of these are filled in, but that was one right there. And then this is one right here. Again, this has got weird plastic, so this has been probably the same thing. It's probably been combed over a bit.
Pretty cool stuff.
That's crazy. That's wild. I don't see any. Are they on the other side? Are they on the face? They must be. Oh, here they are. That's pretty weak. 2020. So literally.
Within the last month and a half.
Yeah. You can't even.
Sheesh, people.
There's one right there too. These are idiots. And these are all brand new. I mean, these are all just done recently.
So much public land that there is down here.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about getting shot. Well, I guess you do have to worry about getting shot, but that's what I'm talking about. These
Classic containers.
good caches in a forest or a wilderness area that isn't really going to get muggled.
Yeah, yeah.
I do not want a hat. You want a hat?
No.
It might come with some samples on it.
Yeah.
It's called Don't Fall.
Don't fall. Yeah, thanks for that. It's probably just right down here at the end of this fence, isn't it? Oh, there it is right there.
Is it right? That's right.
Yeah.
Nice. Reach for it. Oh, is that something nice and dead right there?
Yeah. It's nice.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Good old-fashioned dollar store.
Yeah.
I'm just seeing what we got for pathways out of here.
I guess we could go down to the highway, hitchhike. Hitchhike back. Well, I didn't expect to do a full loop like this. That's funny.
Well, it's actually a pretty good day for it.
Yeah. Look in a nook. That's not helpful. There's a number of nooks. What exactly is a nook?
I'm sure it's going to be one of these two areas.
Yeah, I think so.
Like that one right there looks
Yeah,
an obvious choice.
yeah, that looks pretty primo right there.
So I'm going to just say that the do not find. And if you go on my geodata list
Here you go.
and somebody finds it, then
And you'll
maybe they'll
take
come
another
back.
peek.
I was actually placing a cache one day, and I had someone stop over. They're like, "Are you okay? Is your truck fine?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine." I didn't really explain what I was doing. I was just like, "Yeah, I'm good. Keep going."
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember those days where you pretend your GPS is a cell phone.
Yeah. Somebody go.
And I look back on it and I'm like, man, that looks like a cell phone from the 80s, dude.
Yeah.
You probably just drew more attention by doing that than you did, you know, using it as a GPS.
Yeah. You just say it's a sat phone. But yeah, there's a few people, I'd see people get an inquisitive look on their face and start walking up to me and ask. And I just put my GPS up to my ear, perpetrate like I was talking.
Now we got cell phones. I was thinking if about it, I'll be looking for a cache. Somebody walked by and I'll feel like, oh crap, I gotta navigate off the the geocaching page.
Yeah. It's blown up. You guys gotta be just slammed with business right now, aren't you?
Yeah, we have been for the last couple of years. Which has been good, but you keep kind of expecting a bomb fallout at some point.
Yeah.
The doomsday people say.
Yeah. It won't be like 2008, I don't think, but unless coronavirus just kills everybody on the planet. So we cut through Indiglo,
Go around
Indigo,
and shoot 'em.
because this trail stops.
Yeah. So what's the craziest thing you've ever found in a geocache?
In a geocache?
We talked about a severed head before.
Yeah. You know, one that I thought was really cool is I found a penny from there was one year when the U.S. had a shortage of copper during World War II.
Oh, yeah.
So they made pennies out of steel.
Oh, cool.
And I found one of those steel pennies. And I'd been looking, I had a collection of coins from of pennies from the 1930s. And that one was missing and it was just glaring at me. But anyway, out of the blue, I find one of these steel pennies. That made my day.
That is awesome.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they're. You might have to go clear up to the fat farm and cut across too, but I can't remember. I'm trying not to look too conspicuous while we do it.
What is it they say? Just don't pretend to act natural. Just do it.
Yeah.
Just
Act like you're supposed to be there.
you don't know any better.
Yeah. This dirt's pretty dry. It's a good thing. That'd be ugly. Well, we came from the other direction though too. I didn't really.
Down this road, right?
Yeah, I didn't really look at what was that. You know, we looked for that cache at the Biggest Loser Ranch or whatever that was, and then we just headed right up from there. But you get up to Canada much anymore?
I haven't for a couple of years.
Really? That's a haul. I mean, it's not like you can jump in the car and just drive a day.
It was just me and Mariah, but
Yeah.
now I got the little guy, and
Yeah.
I don't want to torture him too bad with long drives.
Yeah. He's how old?
Just turned 4 last week.
Okay.
As much as I begged to plead for him not to turn 4, he still turned it.
Those petroglyphs, they're pretty cool. I bet there's a lot more than just those.
Oh, I'm sure.
I bet you go clear down into that boulder field, and I bet there's just gads of them.
It's a perfect spot for it, especially with those old pit houses up above too.
Yeah, that was cool.
And I actually had when I first started caching, I didn't know that you couldn't, put a cache out and just be like, you had to be in the area.
Yeah.
So we were driving through Montana, and there wasn't this cache at this one rest stop, and I'm like, hey, I got an extra one in my pack here. Let's just put one out. And I got called on it right away. They're like, oh, you can't put it there unless you can maintain it. So I just left it there. And it was we had a stretch where we ended up just like, we'd fly down all the time. And then it was like 6 years later or something like that. And we drove, and we actually stopped at that same rest stop. And I was like, let's go see if that sucker's still there. And sure enough, it was.
Wow.
And it had actually been signed by a few people.
Really?
Yeah, it was crazy.
How weird is that?
Just that way where you have your geosenses on, like us up in Colorado there, and we walking around this place, and I saw this pile of rocks, and I'm like, that's funny, I bet you there's a geocache there. Just jokingly. And I walk up to it, and I kick the rocks aside a little bit, and sure enough, there's an ammo can under there.
Huh. I found one. The coordinates were the coordinates were right in the middle of a road on the way to this lookout. And the lookout was like 0.8 of a mile away. I mean, it was still a long ways away. And so we're like, we looked for half an hour. And finally, we're just like, let's go to that lookout. I wonder if they because they mention a view.
Just flip-flop the board.
Let's just go up there. And there used to be a cache up there. And I went right to the place where the cache used to be, and sure enough, there it was. I mean, I had the name of the guy that hid it in it, and I knew it was. So I knew that was the one.
That was the one.
I didn't realize out by Hanksville there's this thing called the Mars Desert Research Station.
Oh, really?
And they have these little modules that look like a spaceship dropped them there, and there's no plant life out there. It looks just like Mars. And we drove out there, and the group that was in the Mars Desert Research Station hid the cache. So what they do is they pretend they're on Mars. So they got to put on this spacesuit, and they go out and they wander around. So that's what they did, is they hid this cache, and I was just like, I wonder if it's like a space, one of these space tube things, I wonder if it looks kind of cool. But it was
just an ammo can.
It wasn't even an ammo can, it was a sandwich bag. Ziploc. And it just had a logbook, and then it had a note. It said, for the next crew, look under, and then it had directions to find like a 6-pack of beer or something in the station, but it was still pretty cool. Back in the day, I actually signed up. When I was geocaching when you could actually still do a virtual, but I never did because I thought that's lame. That's not geocaching.
That's not
geocaching.
geocaching.
Geocaching is you're finding the treasure, you know.
Yep.
And so I never did, and then after they got rid of them, I was kicking myself because I'm like, I had a chance to do it, and I didn't do it because people were getting ridiculous.
Yeah, it was
People
like
were-
you sit in this booth in a diner over this, where I proposed to my ex-wife or something.
Yeah. Read.
But a few times I've considered things a little bit. I remember in Hawaii we were there, and there was a cache out in one of the, just a little island, and I'm like looking at it, and I'm like, you know, it's only like 50 feet away, 100 feet away, you know? Right? Maybe? Just get one of those foam boogie boards. Like we had a boogie board with us. Could I just, maybe I could swim out
Swim out there.
And then you think of yourself, and you think of things in reality, and you're like, it's probably better if I don't try to do that.
Yeah. It's a weird mentality. I'll take far more risks to sign my name on a little piece of paper in a
Right.
film canister than I would otherwise, just
I know.
to you know. But
I don't know how many times
stupid.
How many times somebody said, "Oh, you want to go on this death hike?" And I'm like, "No, I'm good."
Yeah.
And I'll be like, "No, just 1 second." And I'm thinking, I don't really want to go on this. And then I'm like, "Oh, there's a cache at the end." Yeah, I'll go. I'm not in shape, and we did this one in Hinton by Jasper National Park. And it was this bike trail up behind in the mountains. And this is back when we had the old E-Trex. And so we would go down this path, and there's a cache here, and then there's a cache completely to the west of you, and you're like, okay, well, we'll cut down. So you would hike down this little ravine and back up to the other side and grab a cache, and then what's the next one? Oh, it's further down, but it's on the other side of the ravine again. So you do the whole thing where you go down the ravine. Meanwhile, you realize that by the end, you're like, there's a trail that goes down either side of this ravine that you could have easily just walked down.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things that you just kind of sticks in your head. Oh yeah, I did this crazy thing. And you tell people about it, and you're like, and they look at you like, what's wrong with you? Like, do you need to go to a hospital or something? One of those special hospitals with padded rooms. You did what to go find a stupid piece of Tupperware in this crazy place? Yeah, I did. But
It's the weirdest thing.
check out the photos I got.
Yeah. Either else, or this is a meetup. The main meetup place.
Yeah, everybody's here to go do whatever they're gonna do. Hey, we'll meet you at this place.
I know where there's an empty parking lot.
We'll do this again. This is awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, awesome.
Okay.
Okay, man.
Have a great rest of your day.
Yeah.